Hello, everyone. This is Barbara Iris Alsu of Parental World Knowledge. I'm sorry for the inconvenience, but there was something wrong with Google Hangouts. It crashed our computer again, and I just cleaned it with security on my computer, and everything's fine now. And I apologize for the other day. We had a power failure. My son had a portable heater, and he needed to just adjust it, and it just turned off all the electricity, everything, the lights, the heat, everything went off. So he fixed it. Everything's fine now. And it's just so cold. We've been using some extra little heaters, and that's it. And we have all brand new heaters, but it's just, I don't know, something got loose and it caused everything just to go out. Unbelievable. So at any rate, I thank you for tuning in. I'm so sorry if you've been inconvenienced twice now. We have no control, with Google Hangouts, and with that circumstance, I had no control over, that something got loose on there. Moving it back and forth, these little portable ones. I'd recommend better to get the bigger ones that are on the floor and they're electric. This, just to me, they don't seem, these little ones, this is well protected and everything, but if something gets, loose, you're moving it back and forth. These other ones that are floorboard ones, they seem to be more solid, and I don't see anything getting loose on that. We've been moving them back and forth when we need them, and it gets cold in the basement, whatever, and you need to I would recommend to get a stationary one, and get one that's smaller unless you have a huge house. Get like a 45-inch. All right, getting back to I hope that you have your canvas watercolor paper. I hope that you have, the camera just froze, so I don't think you're seeing my brushes. I hope you have watercolor paint that's non-toxic, and they come in little palettes. Now, the only thing is they don't usually have white, so you're going to have a liquid white. And then in addition, I hope you have an artist sponge, and that can absorb the paint. You put it down, bring it up, and just try to use as least water as you possibly can. Use more paint, but don't use a lot of water. Always take your brush and brush it off either a bowl or a cup, whatever it is, and just brush off on the edge. And then you need also an artist eraser when you're doing your line drawing. You also need color pencils, but you should match as close as you can. Doesn't have to be artist pencils, but you do need color pencils. All right, and I hope you have a line drawing. If you don't, please just do something. If you can't, from your imagination, use a prop, and don't copy the prop. It's someone else's artist's work. If you have a live person, of course, you can copy exactly, or a pet, you can copy exactly. As far as if you can't draw whatsoever, you could do a computer printout. So that is acceptable in juried shows. So if you're not able to draw, don't worry about it. Just do a computer printout and paint right on that. So the quality of the paper would have to be a good, like something that's like a canvas paper, but of course, they don't have in the stationery store, canvas, but it could be, just raised a little bit, and this way it wouldn't be quite as flimsy, because you want it when you're painting, you don't want the paper to fall apart. All right, and the canvas is the best, the canvas paper, and it absorbs the paint better, plus you don't have to whitewash, because if you have watercolor paper, that is not treated usually, and then you have to whitewash. That means you're going to have to take this white paint and you're going to have to paint that whole entire paper if it's just regular watercolor paper. So you have to look to see, and if you don't know, ask somebody. Again, and I hope everything is great in everybody's life. I didn't get to say my prayer, but I said it privately myself. I say a prayer all the time for everybody in the world. And if you go on our site of PARENTALWORLDkNOWLEDGE.com, our latest blog, you will get 2 miraculous healing prayers for free. So you can do that anytime, even when we're not on. And I'm always saying the prayers. I say every time I think about it, every single day, all day long, that if anyone is saying a prayer, I'm saying a prayer with them to God. And God heals 100%. Okay, so let's go on to our painting. And light colors first, because if you do the dark, it could bleed into, your painting. So it's better to do light colors first, okay? While I was waiting, I was doing a little painting. I get, just to sit here getting bored. So I just wanted to dry that. Okay. And the weather here is horrible in West Orange. It's been raining. Well, nice and warm. Yesterday it was nice and warm. Amazing. The sun was out. I knew it got warm and it was going to start to rain. And if it gets colder, it could even start to snow. So let's hope it doesn't get too cold. It said it's going to go down to 30s. So I'm hoping it's not, but I'm just being realistic with the weather. What I'm hearing, it says going down to 30s. If you have rain and it's going down to 30s, that means it's going to start to freeze and snow would be happening. So just be prepared. I'm just saying to be prepared, not to be negative. I want to be positive that the weather's going to be okay. I'm so glad that my computer finally cleared. Sheesh. The only thing I was on was Google Hangouts, and then it crashed. I'll tell you, we were lucky, though. We had, at least yesterday and today, sunny. It was sunny skies at first, and then I don't know what happened. We had at least a little bit of good weather, a little warmth. Went up to 53 today in West Orange, New Jersey. And when you're doing your, do little brush strokes, don't do big, because obviously the paper's not that big and you're going to be going into your other objects. And paint always what you enjoy. Don't, paint what I am doing. Always comes out best what you really enjoy. And I just want to make an announcement. Very happy. Taylor James. And I've always liked the singer, James Taylor, and his name is just reversed. I've always liked that name and love the singer, so it figures that I love the guy. The name, beautiful name like that. He's a true gentleman. He comes from Texas, and although he's been living now in Florida and visits his daughter in New York, so that's close to me, right in New Jersey. And my dog finally became a young pup. He turned 9 months. I'm so happy about that. He's healthy. I celebrated this weekend. He turned Sunday. 9 months. My little baby. Now, I don't know hope the camera is getting my whole painting here. Let's see now. I've got that side there. I'll try to get the other side. So you can't see what I'm doing here. There we go. Oh, there goes my light again. My light is on timer. I told my son to take it off, but he never got around to it. I feel like I'm in school, I've said before, raising my hand for the teacher. Unbelievable. I have to raise my hand every now and then. He says, oh, wait, I don't mind doing it. I go, I do. I'm doing a reality show. I'm supposed to be painting. I'm not going to be raising my hand every 5 minutes or so. Come on. He wants to save money, but this is getting ridiculous. And the funny thing is, he says he wants to save money, but then he goes to the store, he sees new products, and he buys it, and then he doesn't like it. So I said, why buy new things? Stick to the things that you have. If we're on a budget, then you don't buy new things. You buy the things you've had. You could change off by buying, some different things of the things that you like. That you could eat in a packet like a snack. And he said it was terrible. And then he wasn't going to take it back. And it was $6. So I said, you take that back, $6? That's a lot of money. For $6, there's so many things I can think of getting. And he's putting me on this budget, watching, he wants to watch every penny. And I'm going, this is ridiculous. I'm going to try it. He'll eat, all these healthy things that taste terrible. And if he won't eat that, and he said it was so bad, it must have been really bad. Because some of the things he gave me to taste, oh my gosh, these herbs and things, they're just horrible, horrible, horrible tasting. But they're healthy, but really just terrible tasting. So at any rate, I think it's so funny that, he says we're on a budget, but he's buying all new things to try. And another thing, he buys this vegetables. When you buy cut up vegetables, they could expire the same day. He bought squash cut up. And I tell him, you buy frozen, fresh frozen, and you can get organic, fresh frozen squash. It was squash. And, or get a whole squash and that I have to peel, but that would last longer. It just expires if it's, this cut up. Ugh. And it was, it was only able to use part of it, and the rest was rotten. I had to throw it out the same day. That's ridiculous. The same day. It didn't even last beyond a day. That's ridiculous. So there's things, if he wants to, he's budgeting me, not on my lights when I do my show. And outside when I walk the dog, he still hasn't fixed it. Well, I'm not walking the dog now because the weather is inclement, and I am not going out in this, rain and all this anymore. I just let him go by the door, and when it gets better, I'll go back out. But I'm not going in this pouring rain. No way. And freezing cold. I let my dog on a long leash. I'm holding him, and I just let him go out. As long a retractable leash. And that's what I do. So, but if I had to go out, I wouldn't even have a light. The light, as soon as you move away with the dog, it goes off. Now, dogs, interesting enough, have vision in the dark, which I didn't know that. So it doesn't bother him. He can see. He can see in the dark. But me, I can't see in the dark, and I'll be stumbling over and breaking my neck. He didn't think of that when he put the, he never had a dog before. And when he put that up, he wasn't thinking. But I can't do it. I cannot be on a timer. If as soon as I leave the stoop, it goes off. So what good is that? Oh boy. He was thinking, why waste electricity this way? As soon as you go to in front of it, it goes on and then it goes off when you leave. But I didn't think of that. I'm walking in the dark. It was great when the Christmas lights were up. We had the lights on and I could see still, but not now. Oh, kids. Well, he's trying, we're trying to get by because my father passed away not too long ago, several months ago. And what a shock of losing him so early. And so that's why he's trying to be on a budget. He's good that he's doing that, but you can't be doing that much saving. That much saving is too much. I want to see where I'm going. I don't want to trip over rocks in the dark. Okay. I hope that he's going to cut the budget in some other ways that are practical, not the way that he's been going about it. I made delicious coconut chicken and coconut rice and beans. And I never made everything coconut. It just was so delicious. But now, my son just told me, even though coconut sugar is so much better than liquid coconut sugar, or they have molasses, as opposed to the powder, because he just heard from one of his sources. It was a doctor, and I don't know which one online. I tried to ask him, and he didn't answer me yet. So I don't know which one it was, but it was something he saw online, and he Googled it, and he saw, and it definitely stated that it could possibly clog your can clog possibly your arteries. I definitely would only use liquid then. So it's interesting. He did like a little test to see, an experiment, and he saw that the sugar, even when you put water, it just did not dissolve. So, readily, and if it doesn't, readily, that means like, you're drinking water to wash it down and it's not dissolving in your, and that's, could be in your system, but it's not good for you. So I definitely would do the liquid sugar. So with that recipe, just do, instead of powdered coconut sugar, just use the liquid. And, it tastes the same. And if anything, I would use maybe just, go by the package to see what it says. But I think the liquid is even a little sweeter, so I would just use maybe a little bit less. Go by your package, what it tells you, because everyone is different. We get different brands, and some say use a teaspoon per person. So by how many people you're using, it's like if you have 4, then it says 1 teaspoon each, then 4 teaspoons. So you just go by your package and figure it out. But that's terrible. I can never imagine. They said good sources that coconut sugar is healthy, and now I'm finding out that it might not dissolve in if your system's a little slower. And as a senior citizen, our system slows down, so not good. I definitely would recommend liquid, and that's what we're going to be using. No more of the powder. You can't win. I try to do the right things and help everybody, and reading from good sources, and then it didn't state not to use that. But I did put a lot of water when I did the coconut chicken. So, there's better chance. I mean, then it was not just sprinkled on and then just left on, because then, that would be worse, but it was in a lot of water. So, that it would be dissolved a little better, but it's still not readily. It's not, totally dissolved when you have even your drinking water, and the chicken was in water too. I baked it in quite a bit of water. And then I still left a good amount of water when I put the sugar on top. Well, I learned now, go for the liquid. And the recipe is on LinkedIn if you're interested, for that coconut. And that chicken is so, oh God, so tender. I think because of the coconut, the fact that you're putting the coconut sugar, it just made it, wonderful, caramelized, and just melted in your mouth, really. Plus the fact that I put it in water too. It's like soup chicken. But then I do pour it out and I let it, the chicken get brown with the sugar on top. But you can put the liquid sugar. It still should get, light golden brown and be yummy. All right. So I do want to say a miraculous healing prayer for everybody in the world. There should be peace. There should be good spirit. There should be good health. And I hope that you know that, like I said before, if you were watching, God heals 100%. I'm just doing the prayer. I'm only saying the prayer, and you say the prayer with me to God, and God heals 100%. So, and amen. Trying to get you to see the other part that I'm doing here. It's not easy to get this. Okay. Wish we had two cameras. There was a contest for anyone that is doing things for technology for children, and truly this program is all about inspiring people that are in tech jobs, because we have a shortage in our entire world. We're having to go to other countries to get positions. So obviously there's a shortage here, and the unemployment is the highest for tech people in our country. The highest. Can you imagine? We should not have that. It should be soaring, but it isn't. And that really scares me, because if we end up with a shortage in our own country, and we're having our people to go to Europe to get a position, I mean, that's also bad for Europe, because why are they having, if they didn't have a shortage, why are they, having to hire us? So they're having a shortage too. It's all around the world. And I know this for a fact because my son went to NJIT, and every student but him at that time, and this is just a couple of years ago, he was the only one who got a part-time job, almost full-time, and he was the only one. So that tells you that was very bad then. And I really want, sponsorship for here to help us get more equipment and things, cameras, whatever we need. And I would like to have a regular crew, people helping me do the art, and hire them 2 people daily. And my son, like I said, is an architect, so he's one of our volunteers, and he has his master's certificate, so he's able to teach on a college level. So we have great volunteers, but I want to know that I have definitely people here available. And we have many volunteers, but we do a program. We would like to have that. And he does teach a program for children at Rutgers on architecture. So he could teach marvelous fine art with architecture here. It would really be superb. He'd be one of the people I'd want to hire on a regular basis, because his time is limited. He does Rutgers for free, but he has to get paid for doing his work. He can't just do everything for free. So on the weekend, I would love, for that I can guarantee that he'd be here. And another thing is too, excuse me for raising my hand again, I have to keep doing it to put the light on. I feel that I'd like a state-of-the-art place to have our students attend. So state-of-the-art building, and my son could design it. That really would be wonderful. He could get people to, build it. If I don't know if he'll have the time to do it. If he can't build it, we could get people to build it. But hopefully, he'll have the time to build it. Because he designs it great, and he does a great job. And when I say state of the art, I mean everything. I mean, that it should be a beautiful art room. And then so I'm hoping that we get selected. Could really help so many people around the world. You couldn't have a better professor than my son. And myself. Now, I wouldn't charge for my service. I just want to hire two people that, I could, besides me, that can always be here. Because I know I have many volunteers, but, they're volunteers and they have to work. When you have children that you're instructing. Well, I hope they select us. Parental World Knowledge. We're an online business. ParentalWorldKnowledge.com. And our site is free. And we made a college States. So I'm hoping that, they feel that we're worthy and select us. because this is my life. I'm intending on doing this my entire life. And I would leave the business to my son and have him take over and have him run everything when I'm gone. Hopefully I live over 100, be many, many more years. But, I'm intending to leave that to him. I hope that you have a great night or day, depending on where you are in the world. And I appreciate greatly that you tune in. I appreciate greatly you refer people to us. And you have such great loyalty. Our show sometimes goes on, doesn't go on, and you still stay with us. And I'm so grateful. I appreciate it. I feel, that you're really caring about me, because most people would give up. I mean, it's difficult. The show doesn't always go on because it's hacked from Google Hangouts, or I don't know what's going on. That's such difficulty. I suppose if we had more modernized equipment, maybe that would, remedy the situation, but I'm not really sure. I know they made improvements, and I just hope it keeps getting better. But thank you so much for hanging in there with us. And you have a wonderful night or day, and keep up the beautiful work. I know that you feel sometimes discouraged. You're just starting. But look, don't worry about it being perfect. Just enjoy. And that's all that matters. He's been a little finicky. Want to say hello to everybody? Say hello. Say goodbye. Hello. On so they can see him. High five. High five. Come on. Pick your paw up. High five. All right. All right. You lifted it up high. So this is Platinos, 9 months old. In a day. Alrighty. You take care. Bye now. Thanks again.